guys. Okay, so today we're going to talk about functions as they are in equation form and also graphing them by using a table. Okay, so let's go ahead and start filling things out. So functions can also be represented by an equation or rule. The equation will generate ordered pairs, which make up the table, by taking an input, which is the x, which we also talked about before as being the domain, that results in a certain output, which is the y value, which we also learned is representing the range, okay? These are all interchangeable words. They mean the same thing, and you have to know that, okay? The x value is always called the independent, another word that refers to the x values, the independent variable. The y value, so x value is input, domain, and independent. Y value is output, range, and dependent variable. We're going to add a little thing right now. I always like to fill the blank in this sentence to help to know which one is the independent and which one is the dependent. Blank depends on blank. Y depends on X. This sentence right here always helps you to determine which one is the independent and which one is the dependent, because the Y depends on the X. The graph of an equation is the set of all its ordered pairs, which often form a line or a curve. We will see both right now, but majority of what we will deal with will be a line. Okay, so now let's look at how do I find these ordered pairs when I'm given the equation? Okay, so we want to complete the function table. What that means that I do is I plug x's into rule and simplify to get y. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, my x is -1. My rule is x plus 7. So that means I'm doing -1 plus 7, which gives me not negative, that's a positive, Kimberly, because the 7 is bigger, which gives me 6. So therefore the ordered pair is -1, 6. And we finish this out. I have 0 plus 7, which is 7. So then I have 0, 7. Then we have 2 plus 7, which is 9. So that's going to give me 2, 9. And then I have 4 plus 7, which gives me 11. So I have 4, 11. Okay, oh, I did the wrong question. I wanted to do number 3. Okay, going on with number 3. That was a real simple one. This one I wanted to do because I want to make sure when you're plugging in, my rule is y minus x. Notice this is a negative x, so this is going to be y minus -5. Well, when we have a double negative, remember that becomes a big plus. So this is 6. 1 plus 5. So I have -5, 6. So when I'm looking at this, again, remember, it's 1 minus -4, which gives you 1 plus 4. So therefore, that's 5. So we have -4, 5. I will let you finish that, and I want to move on over here to number 6. Okay. Got a little bit more involved with it, but we're doing the same thing. We're plugging in the x. So we have -4/3 times -9. Notice I'm making this into a fraction because I'm dealing with a fraction here. Plus 11. Now I'm going to change colors real quick so that you can see what I'm doing. I want to simplify right now if I can. If I notice this, 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into -9, -3 times. So I end up with -12 plus 11, which gives me, not -12, because that's a negative times a negative. That's a positive 12. So we have a positive 12 plus 11, which is 23. So therefore, my answer is -9, comma 23. So let's do this again. So we have -4/3 times -3/1 plus 11. That's going to give me, ooh, if I notice this cancels, this is going to become a 1. So I'm going to have 4 plus 11, which is 15. And then we have -3, comma 15. -4/3. We have 3/1 plus 11. So this is canceled. So that gives me -4 plus 11. So that's going to give me 7. So then I have 3, comma 11. Then I have -4/3 times 6/1 plus 11. This cancels and this becomes a 2. So I now have -8 plus 11, which gives me 3. So this ordered pair is 6, comma 3. Here we go. So now we're going to go to the next page. And this is where it's not a table of values. We're just given a list of domain. And remember, with domain, that is referring to the X values. So we're given the domain, which is X. We want to find the range, which is Y. So again, we're plugging in the X values. So we're going to work this 3 times. So I have Y equals 4 minus 5, which gives me Y equals -1. Then I have Y equals 6 minus 5, which is Y equals 1. And then I have Y equals 8 minus 5, which is Y equals 3. Now, to write this answer, okay, we write range. Now, I'll be nice and I'm going to let you write just the capital R, okay, equals curly bracket. And then we write these numbers in order from least to greatest, okay? Right? In least to greatest order. So we have -1, comma 1, comma 3, which happens to be the order right now. Okay, so let's look at that. Should be good because you're just plugging in and working, which is what we've done. Okay, so now we're looking at the two different types of functions. You'll notice that the equations are quite different, okay? One is just x plus 3. This one has an exponent on it, okay? It's squared, so therefore it's going to give us a different looking graph. Okay, so we do just what we did. We plug in the x values, okay, into our rules. We have x plus 3. That's going to be -7 plus 3, so that's going to be -4. That's the ordered pair. -7, comma -4. -3 plus 3, that equals 0. So this is going to be -3, comma 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So then we have 0, comma 3. Then we have 2 plus 3, which is 5. which gives me 2, 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. So that gives me 5, not plus, 5, 8. And now we plot those points and see the graph that is made. Okay, so I'm going to start with -7 on the x-axis. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. And I'm going down to -4. There's my first point. -3, 0. So that's right here. And then we have 0, 3, which is here. 2, 5, which is here. And then 5, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And now I get a straight edge. And you connect the dots. And you want your line that you draw or your graph to go all the way through the coordinate plane. Okay, so now let's look at the next. Okay, my rule is x squared. So for this, that means I'm doing -3 squared. Notice I put it in the parentheses. And the reason for that is so that you understand that this is -3 times -3. Because if you punch it in the calculator without the parentheses, it will give you a positive, I'm sorry, it will give you a -9 when it's supposed to be a +9. So you have to pay attention how you type it to make sure that you get this correctly. Okay, so then we have -2 squared, which is 4. So then we have -2, 4. Then we have 0 squared, which is 0. So it's 0, 0. Then we have 2 squared, which is 4. So this is 2, 4. Notice it looks like these numbers are starting to repeat. 3 squared is 9, so this is 3, 9. So this shape might be a little different. Let's see what happens. So I have -3x and 9. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then we have -2, 4. 2, 4. 0, 0, 2, 4. And then 3, 9. You'll notice these are exactly the same distance from this, what we call the axis of symmetry. You'll learn more about that next year. And now we play connect the dot. Now, when you're doing this, this may look like a V, but it is not. It's what we call a parabola. It's a U shape. Okay, so let's fill in these questions down here at the bottom. All right, it says the first equation produced a line. So it is called a linear equation. The second equation produced a curve. So it is called a quadratic. I know you're like, where did that come from? It's the term quadratic equation. It's just mathematics. We will focus on linear. Next year in algebra, we'll get a good focus on quadratics. Okay. So with this, that's all of the notes. Your assignment is going to be to finish the notes and then do the odds and the homework. Have a great day.